They then
too much detail. How did it end? Happily, I hope.
Well, it was not that happy. She had an operation all night, had to stay there, but we were told that we should have gone away and we shouldn't be there.
Right. What was the coffee like?
Well, I gave her a hot chocolate as opposed to coffee, but...
Hot chocolate. That's about the only thing that actually tastes good out of one of them vending machines, isn't it? Hot chocolate. Ooh, so yummy. Well, I'm glad to hear that it all worked out well, Ben. Nice to hear about the hot chocolate part. Do we want to talk about abscesses?
No.
Not really. Not really, no. But I appreciate the call, Ben. Diana says, what if a man is breaking in my home using a hosepipe? You can't break into homes using a hosepipe. That's right out. Richard says, do you think Donald Trump will be re-elected just in time to go to war with China? Because that man knows a lot about wind. Well, you think I'm going to play that now just because you said that? Like you can dance me around like a marionette? No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to. You can't make me. Let's have Beverly. Mike?
Hi, Nick. Yeah. I was just laughing about your question when you said, what was the coffee like? I mean, it was a killer. About the abscesses.
Yeah. Are you mentioning abscesses again?
No, we're going off that now.
All right, then.
But I would like to say, just in case people think you're trolling them, that tip about how to get rid of hiccups is perfect. It works every time.
It's the only thing that works for me, and it works every single time.
Yeah. Totally
because every time I get the hiccups, I think, oh, God. In the back of my mind, I saw once on TV a person who had been hiccuping for years. And that really scares me because I think, oh, God, I'm going to be that person. But fortunately, every time I get them, that's the thing that does it, that cures it. Drinking water from the opposite side of a glass, bending over at the waist, and you have to concentrate on your breathing. You breathe through your nose, and it kind of relaxes the inside of you because you're too busy concentrating on not getting water to go up and out your nose. It works. It really does.
It does every time. But back to Fishy Sunak and the Tunbridge Wells things. People are missing a couple of details on this. If you think back to precisely what he said, was he inherited a Labour policy that distributed money to disadvantaged areas.
Yes,
right.
Which is the last thing we want.
He became Chancellor in 2020.
Right.
The Labour policy was there in 2010.
Yes.
There's a 10-year gap. Now, if you also look at the relative distribution of money to councils from 2010 to 2020, before he was Chancellor, Tory party, proportionally, Tory-run authorities got more money, and you pointed this out in the past, and Labour Party authorities got less.
Yes.
George Osborne started this, and he's claiming the credit for it.
Right. Bingo. That's how they managed to stay in power, by playing that politics game without shame. It is very, very beneficial to be without shame in the game of politics, as His Imperial Bodgeness will attest.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
He ain't got no shame. Look what he's been able to get away with.
Yeah. And I mean, you yourself have pointed this out about defunding Labour councils over years.
Right.
You pointed this out years ago.
Yeah. Well, do you remember those two? Yeah. Do you remember those two numpties in a boat? They're being quizzed by some journalist, Bod, and he was saying, well, so which party are you going to vote for in the next general election? They said, oh, it's real bad round here. We got Labour Council. I don't know if this is how they spoke. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this is the voice I'm going to give them. We got Labour Council. Everything's been blooming awful. They've closed the police stations, and they've closed the hospitals, and this, that, and the other. And it was politely pointed out to them. No, in fact, it wasn't politely pointed out to them. But people were screaming at the television, you stupid morons, it's not the Labour Council that have done all that, it's the last 12 years of a Conservative administration that have done all that to them. But, they were determined to believe that it had nothing to do with Bodge and the people that came before him. It was Dave and the Maybot. Oh, God, it's going to be the Maybot and then the Lizbot. Painful.
Yeah, but didn't you hear the other one, Nick, who came on and he said, no, there's nothing, no, I used to vote Labour, but it's good now the Tories are around here. We've got food banks. which is it's the same thing in reverse, sort of, but it's mental.
The masses are asses. Don't forget that, Mike.
Cheers, Nick.
All right, thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. Hey, I wonder if that Caroline in Battersea has woken up yet. Caroline? Oh, hang on a minute. That part was my fault. I haven't dialed her up yet. Let's see. Caroline. Still nothing. Hang up on her right now. I mean it. Three Bridges. Hello, Charlie.
Nick.
Charlie.
I, first of all, want to say how much I adore you, and I think that you are the best thing to come from the Big Bang for sure.
Appreciate it, Charlie.
100%.
Thank you.
However, don't get ahead of yourself, Nick. I need an apology.
Yes.
Often, I listen to your podcast before I go to sleep, and sometimes I fall asleep. And that happened last night. And then at 4 a.m...
In the morning? Is that 4 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah,
just
something
checking.
tragic happened.
Oh, no.
Tragic. So I had a heart attack. I was literally scared sick, right?
Now, wait a minute. Back up. You actually had the heart attack?
Well, in the sense that spiritually... Hold on a second. I'm 20, but still, I still had a spiritual heart attack, right? Mm-hmm. So my heart, I swear to God, jumped out of my chest.
It burst through your chest like the alien monster.
Yeah, and it just said, see ya, because I was so scared. And you know what it was that woke me up? That sound effect of yours.
Which?
Guess. I want to guess.
The sound effect that made you wake up? Mm-hmm. That one?
No.
Was it?
Scarier.
Well, wait a minute.
Polite.
Hang on a minute. Oh, but see, now you've ruined it for us. Now you've spoiler alert.
Warning.
It was be polite.
Be polite.
Yeah. Don't play it. The trauma. Don't play it.
Okay,
So,
I think you're overreacting a little bit, Charlie.
No, because I woke up and two options jumped in my head, right? I thought the first one, because I was in the alpha state, I was half asleep, so my first instinct was to fight the sound effect.
Did you say alpha state?
Yeah,
you were in an alpha state.
Mm-hmm. I know. I mean, it's incredible, right?
It is amazing. Everything you're telling me is just, I'm stunned.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. I would recommend the alpha state to anyone who hasn't tried it.
Science fiction, yes.
Yeah, it was great. So my first reaction was, I am sleeping politely.
What was your second reaction?
Polite. Well, I thought, who is this? My first instinct was, is it a reverse robber? No, a reverse robber. He's not coming to steal things, but a robber who's coming to give me.
Okay, all right. Well, I think we get the picture, Charlie. My recommendation to you is don't go to sleep, ever. Promise me you won't go to sleep ever. Appreciate it, Charlie. I've got to move on. 03, because, just got to. 0345 6060 973. Paul says, if only Boris Johnson was still a viable PM, he would be proposing a huge guttering system over Glasgow to solve the drought problem. But he had to have a relaxing holiday after all of those parties. Business meetings, you mean? They were business meetings, where they had to go through a lot of paperwork.
Booze.
Oh, what a shower, eh? Still, makes for an easy show. Chrissy texts, as zombie government all on holiday. That's how it's written. As zombie government all on holiday. Who's got the red box with the big red button in it if Putin sends us a prezi? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, in their absence, the person that is actually running this country right now is Dominic Dekche-Raab. You know, the angular, tetchy humanoid?
Affirmative.
So, what could possibly go wrong? 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nica@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Seriously, every time angular tetchy humanoid Dominic Dekche-Raab's face appears on the TV, he just gets a bit more frightening every day. I mean, he just looks like he's about to bite your face off. Like you wouldn't want to be in the same room as him if he wasn't, chained to the floor. I'm just saying, he looks like an attack dog, that's all. Very, very scary. 0345 6060 973, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott.
You're joking.
No joking. No joking on this show. Very, very serious. David texts, at the end of Carry On Up the Khyber, Sid James and the gang relax and enjoy themselves while chaos and destruction goes on around them, which is basically how the Tories have run this country for the last 12 years. Or, as Liz Truss would say...
We have never had it so good.
Yeah, that's when they were sitting around the dinner table, wasn't it? And they were being bombed and the ceiling was falling on what they were eating. Yeah, that was funny. Amusing. Let's have East London. Hello, Alison. Oh, Alison. Yeah, there you are.
Nick, I'm here. Yeah, I was going. Well, I will talk about something that I actually called in to talk about. But Hiccup.
Yes.
I think I can simplify your solution.
Go on.
So, all you have to do is think about not hiccuping.
No, doesn't work.
It does.
Doesn't.
Or tell the person that is hiccuping
to stop
not
hiccuping.
To hiccup.
Yeah, that doesn't work either.
No, it does.
I'm afraid it does not.
Wait, so you're telling me that sipping water from the other side of the glass is a better solution to just...
It's not a better solution, it's the best solution. And it's free.
No.
And it's free. No. Free at the point of use.
Yeah, but you look silly. All you actually need to do is just...
Look silly. Are you kidding me, Alison? This bloke's the Prime Minister.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Look silly. I think that ship sailed.
Fair point. If only he had hiccups. Or ever. The other thing that I thought of while I was waiting was that landline.
Your call is important to us.
Yeah. So I noticed that while I was waiting that there's a really bad tinny sound on
it's me.
No, it's just the whole thing. So I took my phone case off my phone because I was like, the sound is resonating somehow, like something's weird. And so I think maybe the problem is that the radio. It's your landline. Your landline can't deal with mobiles.
My landline can't deal with mobiles.
So yeah, the radio.
Well, it's not the landline that's the problem there, Alison. It's the mobile part of that equation. What is the problem?
But it doesn't sound like... I don't get this problem otherwise with my mobile.
Right. Well, if it's
it's at your end.
There's nothing wrong with my end, Alison. I can assure you of that. You are coming in clear as a bell.
Oh, okay.
If that's any help.
All right. I was just trying to figure out how do we solve the mobile/landline problem. But
you haven't made any sense of any kind whatsoever, but at least I can hear every single word you say.
That's the problem then, I guess. NHS and the choice between going private and what's that. So I actually had a conversation with a colleague of mine earlier today, and we both are lucky enough through our company to have private healthcare that's obviously subsidised through our company. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, like, he has type 1 diabetes. So I said to him, so, is that covered? And he said, oh, no, that's not covered. And I was like, right, well, that's, a significant kind of healthcare
issue. Mm-hmm.
Issue. And then I thought, and I've had private healthcare through my company for over 8-9 years, coming on a decade. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever really used it. The only thing I use it for is the annual kind of MOT things that you can do. Right. And but any time that I actually have an immediate kind of like, oh, I better go to the doctors, I'd go to my GP.
Why not?
And so yeah, and then so it's like, well, what is private healthcare then? How does it work? So actually, what normally, as far as I understand it, is like you have to still get a kind of referral from your GP, to then sort of get the
right.
The,
you have to go on a waiting list to see your GP, to be put on a waiting list to go onto a waiting list to see a consultant. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, so it's kind of like just like exacerbating the bottleneck of like, you know, people that I just don't understand then what is the benefit of having private healthcare. And then I thought to myself, like, hold on a minute, it seems like a little bit of a scam because so my company is
don't tell me. Alison, in a nutshell, the benefit of having private health insurance is that you don't have to be put on an NHS waiting list. If you are on the NHS, then the consultant will see you in March of next year. If you have private healthcare, then the consultant will see you tomorrow.
But that's an NHS consultant, right?
Well, they're all doctors. Yeah, I mean, they may get trained with the NHS, and he might work for the NHS on Wednesday mornings and then do... and when I say he, I mean she. Sexist. But yeah, it'll be the same person. But, you know, you don't get a lesser type of doctor on the NHS. They're just, you know, they're the same. They're doctors.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying what I'm kind of like trying to...
Yeah, you want to know what's the benefit of private healthcare? No waiting lists. That's the benefit.
But there are waiting lists because you know, I would still have.
You would still have to go and see your GP.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You can go to a private GP. You can get them on the phone. Like private health companies will allow you to have a phone call with a private GP who will send you here, there and everywhere, baby. You don't have to wait for a single solitary second. As is the case, by the way, in the rest of Europe, which spends... each person will spend about as much money as we're spending on the NHS here, but they'll get treated as though they are a private patient. In other words, they'll get treated like a customer rather than an irritant, which is quite often people's experience with the NHS. But you know what, Alison? I ain't talking about this. This is not what this show is about. Call me back on Sunday and tell me about that. All right?
All right, then.
Cheers, my dear. Another satisfied customer. Well, you know, that's not what the Friday and Saturday shows are about. There's plenty of time to express yourself about the NHS on this station.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
Plenty of time for that, but not on these 3 hours. Simon says, calm down, Nick. You need to YouTube Southampton water. You can watch Brexit live, pouring us down the drain. No thanks needed. Well, during the last break, I looked up Southampton water on YouTube, and it was just a bunch of boats. There's endless videos of boats. We don't need no stinking boats. Richard says, the Bank of England economic forecasts are about as accurate as forecasts by astrologers. Oh, should we talk about the Bank of England? The blooming Bank of England. All right, well, not now, but later. Mikey says, Johnson could be sued for his salary back. Why was he so desperate to stay on? As for the Chancellor, what's going on? Get Marvin Gaye on the phone and he'll sing it to us. He's not picking up. Well, keep trying. He should be sued for his salary back. Yeah. What's he done lately? I mean, apart from dressing up in other people's clothes for one of his infamous photo ops.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I mean, seriously, what has he done since he was defenestrated? Even before that. I mean, what does he do? Apart from hold very, very important business meetings. All night we're having a party. He is not good value for money. I mean, he just waves his arms around and goes, paw! And people go, oh, he's doing his best, and then leave him alone. He's not running the country. I mean, if he was running the country beforehand, how come the country is still here now? Because he ain't done nothing. in the last month or so. I mean, that is a verifiable fact. He's on holiday, but he's always contactable. No, he ain't. We don't even know where he is. I don't know. Just follow the trail to the nearest Tory donor's exotic retreat, and he'll be there, sucking up the free holiday again. Sucking up a free holiday from somebody who, if they're not already in the House of Lords, shortly will be. You know, coincidentally. Appears to be the going rate. 2 weeks in the sun. God, what a way to run a country, eh?
Dreadful.
I am stunned. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Hey, by the way, we put this show and the Saturday one out as a podcast. You see, we take the news and the ads out, which means it takes less time to listen to. You'll use less electricity. And when your fuel bill comes in the autumn, you still won't be able to pay it. But every little helps, yes?
No.
Ask for it by name on an internet near you. Nick Abbott, The Whole Show. The Friday and Saturday night shows get squirted up the internet as a podcast almost as soon as they're over. Nick Abbott, The Whole Show. It's on Global Player. Get that in your life straight away.
This is LBC from Global, leading Britain's conversation with Nick Abbott.
This is absolute tosh.
Yeah! Dude!
0345 6060 973. Mikey says Johnson should be sued. Oh no, I've read that already. I am way ahead of schedule. No idea where I'm going, but I'm making excellent time. Here is call in Manchester. Nicholas.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Right, okay, yes. So I wanted to call with an opinion. It's not on topic of what you're talking about. I just want to call about the situation in Taiwan.
Okay.
I could give you an opinion on something else if you want. I got lots of opinions.
Okay,
So
give us an opinion on
what-
something else, and then we'll see how we go.
Well, what was the last call about?
I don't know. I don't
That was
listen.
what I
I
called about.
don't listen to this show. I have no idea what the last call was about.
We're talking about Taiwan now?
No, I want to hear an opinion on something else. Give me your opinion on cheese.
Cheese. Okay, I'll give you a very controversial opinion on cheese. The Dutch are better at cheese than the English.
The Dutch are better at cheese than the English.
What?
Prove me wrong.
That's nonsense. Of course it's not right. The Dutch are rubbish at cheese. What kind of cheese do the Dutch make? Gouda? Edam?
Holder,
That's it.
Edam.
Yeah, and it's all the
they
blooming
have,
same. It's all that semi-hard.
no,
Don't shout over me. It's all that semi.
Sorry.
I'm having a very important discussion about cheese here. They do all that.
Better than Taiwan. This is much more important.
Be quiet. They do all of that semi-hard cheese stuff, which I don't know. It's not much. I like the ones with the holes in, but just for the holes.
No, that's the Swiss.
It's my favourite part of the cheese, the hole part.
Urine. Sorry, I thought that. No, but you go to the villages. They have the same sort of stuff as us. I like the sort of my favourite English cheese is Stilton for sure.
Yeah, but that's not a very controversial decision there, Nicholas. I mean, it's the most famous English cheese, apart from cheddar.
Cheddar and
or in fact, Ilchester.
Ilchester?
Yeah. Oh, it's very popular around these parts, Squire.
What parts is that?
Ilchester.
I don't know. I'm from Manchester. It's just terrible.
Oh, well, that explains everything. Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Nicholas. 0345 6060 973. Ilchester, you say? It's okay. I'm not going to do the sketch. Just that little bit of it made me laugh. Just thinking about it made me laugh. Richard says, Bank of England economic forecast. No, I've read that. Do you want to do the Bank of England? I got detailed files, but all these people keep calling me, though. I've never got time to say anything that I want to say on this show because these people keep ringing me up.
Whinging and whining and moaning.
They're whinging and whining and moaning, or I am, about them. Exeter. Hello, John.
Oh, hello. I'm John from Exeter. How are you?
I know you are. I'm great, mate.
Good. It's always a pleasure speaking to you.
Is it?
It is. And earlier on this evening, I made an omelette, and it only had like 60% eggs in it, and I think that is an utter disgrace.
Right.
And apart from that, I wanted to talk about Kenny Everett.
Okay. Well, in the brief period that you've got left, go ahead.
Okay. Well, we need him back. We need him back.
Yeah.
He was such a hero. He was such a brilliant broadcaster and all that. One of the funniest things I ever heard him say in an interview, they said to him, what do you think you'll ever come back? Do you believe in reincarnation? And he said, oh no, more people to meet.
More people to what?
More people to meet. New people to meet. Fluff my lines.
Yeah, that was terrible, John. Really, really awful. Even if you hadn't fluffed that, it still was like, more people to meet. That makes no sense. It's probably the way he told them. 0345 6060 973. Martin emails, I think you'll find that the Conservatives will save the day. You and other Remainers, I think it's pronounced Ramoners. You and other Ramoners keep rubbishing Brexit. When we flourish, will you apologise? Probably not. You're an idiot, Martin. And I mean that in a helpful way. Paul emails, Nick, I am depressed. I remember Roger Waters doing The Wall in Berlin in 1990. East and West working together, a new European dream. In perfect harmony. He says, now it's all about not liking the French and getting angry about importing too much cheese. Cheese again. What is it with cheese on this show all of a sudden? Darius says, I just realised Nigel Farage looks like Dr. Connors in The Amazing Spider-Man after the poor doctor turns into a lizard. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I expect that you're completely correct in every respect.
I'm a nutcase.
Let's have a call in, wait, no longest, just by a shade, Michael in Stanwell. Michael.
How are you?
Great, mate.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm just ringing up about what Rishi said about changing what Labour had tried to do for the Brexit voters that the ex-Labour voters that voted for Brexit. They must be running out of reasons to have supported Brexit. The first one obviously was immigration and taking back control of the borders. That's failed. The second one was our own laws, but we know the protocol and the Northern Ireland or the Irish Good Friday Agreement that's all wound up with European laws. So the only other thing that they had was levelling up. And for Rishi to come out and say, "Well, I've been trying to change that since I've been in power," that what else have they got?
Nothing. They got woke. The war on woke. That is what they're going to be concentrating on from now for the next couple of years. We're going to be hearing a lot about it. A lot.
Yeah, but surely they've got to be looking for something else now, because there were only really those three things. And there's nothing else now. They must have seen that none of those things have come to fruition, and there's nothing else to hold on to.
Yeah, but the thing is that Brexit is not a political concept. It's not even an emotional concept. It's a cult. People have joined a cult, and they have pegged their future health, wealth, and happiness around the promises being delivered. They're not going to be delivered, but people will not react by saying, oh, yes, that's right, we were fooled, more fool us. They're going to dig their heels in and be convinced evermore that the good times are just around the corner. If only the Ramoners moaned less about it. If only they just believed, then it will come true. Like I said, a cult. They ain't going to back down, and they're not going to give up because, as I keep saying over and over again, two things. Loss of face, which is too painful to admit that you've been duped. And the second is loss of hope, too painful that you've pinned your future success on the delivery of all of those promises that they laid before us. If only we would vote to leave the EU, our lives would suddenly become better. That's what, and people are, they're not going to give that up. They just aren't. Those people are gone. They're beyond reaching forever.
Okay, Nick, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Another satisfied customer. That was easy. I refer you to the answer I gave some moments ago about that very same thing, over and over and over again. Angie texts, you know what, I don't think either of them would be a good leader. You know what, comma, which isn't there. Angie texts, you know what, I don't think either of them would be a good leader. Why is it always a case of the lesser of a lot of evils when it comes to the Conservative Party? Well, you've almost answered your own question there, Angie. Martin emails, my son and his wife are visiting from Switzerland. I messaged to say, welcome to Blighty, and the spell check corrected it to, welcome to Blighted. It sounds about right, yeah. This is the theme tune to Blighted. Everybody be standing. It does sound like the theme tune to Blighted, don't it? This one says, Edward emails, recently I was thinking of moving to Royal Tunbridge Wells. Now I found out that it's a deprived area. I've decided against the move. Yeah, right. Fishy's saying the quiet part out loud. We know that you're all about helping the rich and taking from the poor, but you're not supposed to actually say that. You're supposed to say the opposite while doing the former. He's not very good at this whole pretending to be interested in the little people routine. So he's busy pretending to be a hard man, ultra right-wing tough guy. How's that look?
Dreadful.
Yeah, it looks really shocking. Doesn't suit you, Fishy. Stick to the cashmere jumpers and the soft focus pictures. With those brown puppy dog eyes. Isn't he an absolute dream? Leicester. Hello, David.
Nick, I'm going off topic completely here. You know how we've got droughts all over the country?
Yes.
And we've got heat waves. What happens to water when it's heated? It evaporates.
Evaporates, yes.
Right. So my solution is get covers installed over all the reservoirs. And then when it's hot weather in the heat wave, you put the covers on and the water doesn't evaporate.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Except they'd have to be really, really big covers, though, wouldn't they? Over like a lake or something.
Yeah, and they'd have to be black as well, I think. Or would they have to be white?
I've read this somewhere. Are you taking this from an actual real-life event?
No. I'm nowhere near anything.
Right, you're just making it up.
If you've got a black hat on in the middle of summer,
right,
your head gets hotter than if you've got a white hat on.
I'm not sure that's true.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But anyway, the solution is if you cover the lake or the reservoir,
yes,
then the water can't evaporate.
Well, it will evaporate less. I'll tell you what, if look around a place where the grass has been permanently in shade, or it will have been covered, like on a cricket green, something like that. Assuming that they haven't watered that grass, the grass that has been in the shade will look greener for that very reason, I bet.
Oh, is that why Hyde Park looked all orange when I went past it last week?
That's the very opposite of what I just said.
Yeah, I can take your point, but you see what I'm saying?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Idea. If you cover the reservoir, when the heat is hot, and there's no rain, then the water can't evaporate.
It can't evaporate.
So you'll save water.
You'll save water. You'll protect the water from the hot air.
Hot air. HOTAIR.
All right, thanks a lot, David. 0345 6060 973. It's every now and again, it's kind of like a physics lesson, this show. Yes?
No.
You can text 84850, email nicka@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's at LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10, Nick Abbott, LBC.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott.
I am not one of your fans!
Pat tweets, I see that a contender for the new boss likes to cosplay as Thatcher. Which you can't say any other way. If you were of a certain era, like what I am, then you can't say that name in any other way. Thatcher is how you say it. I don't know where she finds this stuff. Maybe a Halloween store has a bunch of it in the back of the shop. Is this a repeat of the appalling 1980s, says Pat. Yeah. Yeah, and the music will be even worse.
Oh,
no. Even worse than the 1980s. Can you believe that?
No.
Roger texts, is there a single person in the UK or Australia that after 37 years is missing Neighbours? Well, I know I'm not. Neighbours. Did anything actually happen on that show in 37 years? Here is Denham, Christina.
Is how you say it.
Christina.
I don't know.
Hello?
This stuff. Maybe
Christina.
a Halloween store has a bunch of it.
Speaking.
Christina, you're going to have to turn the radio down because it's going to scramble
sorry.
your brain. You're going to hear what you said 7 seconds ago, and it will make a mush of your mind. Yes.
Sorry.
Go on.
Am I speaking now? Yes?
It sounds like you.
Oh, hello. Yes, I would just like to say about the Hosepipe ban.
Yes.
We've had lots of talks and everything about it.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know that if they have a blue badge or they're disabled, they can use the hosepipe.
Still use the hosepipe. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted people to know about that.
Right. Well, now we know.
That hasn't been brought up before.
Right.
So, okay.
Okay. Excellent work there, Christina. Cheers, my dear. Information station, LBC. Marion texts, they, as in most MPs and so-called experts, in inverted commas, experts, take us, the little people, for absolute fools. I am so tired of what's going on or not going on in this country. I feel like I have a chronic fatigue syndrome, almost giving up on life currently. You are the only one who keeps me sane, says Marion. Hey, Marion.
Stop whining.
0345 6060 973. Stop saying I keep you sane. Too much pressure. Frida, West Midlands.
Hello, Mr. Nick.
Frida.
May I say two little points? One is the National Health Service. I know it's not the topic tonight, but just in response to someone who phoned in earlier, the national insurance monies that we all pay while we're working, if we're normal people, it's supposed to be
normal.
Allegedly. Maybe we're not. Apparently, and again, I don't know if this is true, that money is supposed to be ring-fenced, and yet it's in the general pot. Whether or not that's illegal, I don't know, but there's a question.
Well, let's assume that if Boris Johnson has anything to do with it, then it's totally illegal.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
That's just a guess on my part.
I'd go with that. Anyway, and then the other point was, you often say, what a way to run a country.
Yeah.
Could I please correct that to say it's what a way to run down this country?
Right. No, you may not, but thanks for asking.
Okay,
Thank you. Cheers, Freda. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a nice lady. Gary texts, will our numbers guy, Chancellor Zahawi, be the first to deliver zero budgets? Shall we count them?
86%, 5 million, and of course over 50%. And what I'm saying is,
what are you saying? I mean, seriously, you just fill the air with noise and numbers, signifying nothing.
So obviously the
excruciating. We're still not missing you, by the way. Wherever you are. He's working on holiday because, he never takes a holiday, but he's actually on holiday at the moment, but he'd like us to know that he's working. Sure he is. Crawley, hello, Graham.
Hi there, how are we doing?
Hello there. Doing
yes.
great.
It's another cheese question.
Is it?
Yes. What's the difference between double Gloucester and single Gloucester?
A Gloucester.
Well, is it?
Yes.
And red Leicester, what's all that about? Can you get a green Leicester?
You can, actually. Yeah, you just leave it out the fridge for a long time.
I suppose you would, yeah. No, I'd like to talk about...
oh, that's not what you called in to talk about?
No.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're only taking calls on cheese. 0345 6060 973. Well, okay, go on.
No, what it was is if the fuel prices are continuously going up, then people that have got a chimney on top of their house and a fireplace that's all bricked over, they're going to open that up, aren't they, and put in their, go out the woods.
Well, their furniture. Yeah, they're going to break their furniture up and put that in there, yeah.
Well, if they get cut off and they've got no way of heating their home, you've got a chimney on top of your roof.
Yeah.
With a fireplace that's bricked in, you're going to open it up.
Yeah, and they'll be burning their furniture. Yeah, I think we had that conversation already. Yes.
Have we?
Yeah, it was so enjoyable that we went around twice.
Oh, well, I didn't know about that. Oh, well, perhaps I'll make some cheese on toast.
Oh, that sounds lovely, Graham. And I'll have some pickle on mine. So maybe some red onion would be good. Ooh, I want it grilled. Just nice. But none of that horrible Swiss cheese.
Disgusting.
I don't want any of that. Paul texts, Bodger has probably gone on his Ukrainian honeymoon before it passes and has had to drag his wife along too in case it doesn't work out. Yeah. Gary texts, I read that. Sanj says, Bojo really needs this 2-week holiday as he's been travelling the country playing Mr. Ben and popping up at different locations and dressing up and acting like the big baby while he ticks off things to do on his bucket list. Like a big baby, Bodge. Exactly. Yeah, seeing if he can get somebody to run up one of those military uniforms in hefty size. 0345 6060 973. Red Hill, Nigel.
Good evening, Nick.
Nigel.
This energy prices is in a way it's like a rip-off, and it keeps going up and not down. I wonder if it's going to be a public explanation why it stays high and not coming down. Is it to do with shareholders ripping us off, or
yes,
or what?
Yeah, shareholders and management awarding themselves the bonuses for excellence in showing up for work.
Oh yeah, I mean, can't it be justified? It's ridiculous, isn't it?
They don't have to justify it, Nigel. They just have to put you in jail if you don't pay it.
Yeah.
Think about that when your bill comes through your door. Big penalty attached to non-payment.
Okay, Nick.
Okay, then.
I've got it, mate.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. that bye-bye seemed to last for absolutely ever. It just went on and on and on.
Bye-bye.
See you later. 0345 6060 973. Sue emails, do you think Boris Johnson could have transmogrified into Liz Truss? That might explain why we haven't seen him for a while and why we got the same old gaslighting when she denied she'd said she was proposing to slash public sector pay. She did, didn't she? What a carry-on, eh? Every time one of those people says, I have been very clear that, they are lying. Just watch for that word.
Warning, warning.
The word clear. It seems to be their favourite word. It's the new clear is the new robust. If I hear robust one more time, I'm going to pick the radio up from which it is emanating and I'm going to chuck it through the window. I have been very clear that... No, you haven't. What you mean is you just said the opposite of what you're about to tell us that you've been clear about, which is the inverse of clarity. And they do it over and over and over again. It's trained. She has been trained to. I was going to say perfection, but that's completely untrue. No, she has been trained to within an inch of her life. It's not her anymore, is it? She was the one that was banging on about English cheese.
That is a disgrace.
That's her. Blundertruss. Now she is actually trying to transform herself into Margaret Thatcher, and speaking very, very low and very clearly and precisely, slow enough that her brain can catch up with her mouth. And I have been very clear that, and that's that phony act, that's what's going to win her the top job. God, you'd think that you would actually have to know a bit, or to be, to show excellence in your field. What field has she shown excellence in, other than a farmer's field? Excellence in crossing a farmer's field without getting any on your shoe.
Disgusting.
Well done, Liz. Great work. Would you like to be the leader of the gang? I am stunned. I've been very clear that... No, you haven't. Wrong. Inverse of that. We're going to fashion a robust response, she says. Liar! No, you're not. 0345 6060 973. They must focus group this sort of stuff. Whenever you lie, just say that you have been very clear that the opposite of the lie that you've just been caught out telling. And people will think, oh, well, she's been very clear that, so it must be true. Everything that follows the phrase, I have or the government has been very clear that, is not true. Everything that follows that phrase. Just so you can, watch for it. Because, trust me, it'll be around in a couple of seconds. 0345 6060 973. You do trust me, don't you? 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nicka@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC. It's 12:30, the news headlines with Serena Farrow.
Nick Abbott on LBC.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
It beats me, dear. Declan emails, I'm not a betting man, but I will bet you 10 pence that golf courses are exempt from the hosepipe ban. Fancy those stakes? No, I don't. I bet they're exempt from the hosepipe ban as well. What a giant waste of countryside are golf courses. I mean, they look nice, all right, but it's a bit of a monoculture, isn't it? Both in the flora and in the people what use them. Sue emails, do you think that Boris Johnson could have... No, I read that. How come I read that one and not the one above it? That is bizarre. It's bizarre. John emails, you had a caller whose grass is not green anymore, while here in Ireland we have 40 shades of green. Yeah, I bet you do. Wanstead. Hello, Sophie. Sophie? Sophie?
Me?
Please speak directly into the phone.
I am.
There you are.
I'm speaking. How are you?
I am great, mate.
I'm going to put in a formal complaint, I'm afraid.
Oh, no. What have I done now?
I'm not happy in it.
Go on.
Steve Allen.
Steve Allen?
My two favourite people on the radio.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Steve Allen is your two favourite people on the radio? That's pretty offensive.
You both are in a category I cannot define because you're very different, both of you, but I like both of you.
Right.
I do like Andrew Castle. I do like Sheila Fogarty.
Right. It seems like you're spreading your love around pretty thinly here, Sophie.
But I'm going to put in a formal complaint.
Yes. Which says?
Alan talks about food and he has me eating at 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up really early anyway. And as soon as you mentioned cheese at midnight, I remembered that I had a little bit of cheese I had to finish.
What kind of cheese? Huh?
Red Leicester.
Red Leicester, right.
As I hadn't
Why
had
did you choose Red Leicester? It doesn't really taste them very much, does it?
No.
I mean, no offence to Leicester, but who wants to eat a cheese that or any food product that comes from Leicester? I mean,
So that's where I got my degree from, Nick. So don't
Right.
don't knock it. But the college was part of Leicester University.
Yeah.
But
what was it? What was it a degree in?
I'm afraid to say.
Well, I missed everything that you just said. There's something wrong with your phone. What did you say?
Law.
Law? You're a lawyer? A lawyer?
No, even worse, I work in a school. But you started talking about food at midnight, and I remembered I didn't have my dinner. So I was eating cheese and having tea
You
at
forgot
midnight.
to have dinner.
I was very busy today, Nick.
How can you
But
be?
I will-
How can you be so busy that you forget to have dinner?
Tired. And I will end up by Christmas, because of you and Steve Allen,
Yeah.
barrel.
Absolutely
I'll
enormous.
be...
Oh, I see. It's my fault.
eating early in the morning and late at night. But I do have to say, as well as putting in my formal complaint about you, which I've just done, can I wish you early happy birthday?
No. No, you can't. You blotted your copybook with that whole putting in a formal complaint thing. So I will not accept a happy birthday from you. Plus, it's ages away. It's weeks away.
I think 2 weeks away. You're 63, and I'll be eating
I am
late then.
not 63. Oh, yeah, no, I am. That's right.
At the
No,
same
I'm
age
not.
as my
I'm not. I'm 62. Are you kidding me? 63? That's ancient. I am a youthful 62, and you know it.
Steve Allen, you keep loping a year or two off your age as well. I've noticed that. But and I'll be cutting a cake in your honour that evening, so I'll be eating late again. Thank you.
Right, you're welcome. Appreciate it, Sophie. Thanks for that. And happy Christmas. Jesus' birthday. To boot. Cheers, my dear. Dave emails, the Tories are ruthless. They know the best way to win the next general election is to reduce the cash given to Labour voting big city urban areas who would never vote Tory and give it to the poorer smaller towns who voted Tory for the first time in 2019. Fishy Sunak confirmed this today in that leaked footage taken in Tunbridge Wells. Absolute genius, says Dave. Total moron. Saying the quiet part out loud. You're not supposed to tell us. You're supposed to tell us that you're all interested in the little people, not leprechauns, while shoveling enormous amounts of cash to rich people. I mean, that's what we would expect. But you're not supposed to say that that's what you're doing, you idiot. Scott texts, with all the blooming... He doesn't say blooming, but I'll insert blooming in order to spare your embarrassment. He says, with all the blooming transgressions in our political arena right now, I'd like to know that Beavis and Butthead are back. Oh, I'd like you to know that Beavis and Butthead are back. The new film is great. There's a new Beavis and Butthead film? Really? Really? A new Beavis and Butthead film? I find that hard to believe. But it's on my list. It's already on my list. I've only just found out about it, and it's tip-top most on my list. Oh, with the new Mission Impossible. Can't wait. Isn't it exciting?
Yes.
It is. Let's have St. Ives. Brenda.
Hi, Nick.
Brenda.
Lovely to hear your voice. You're the highlight of my week. I've had the most awful week. So I've laughed and laughed tonight, so well done.
Well, that's nice, Brenda. What happened this week? Don't tell me.
Oh, my sister was very ill, and I had a big argument with the bank and my phone provider, with 5 pages of terms and conditions and 11 pages of terms and conditions from my phone provider and my energy company. I mean, it just gets ridiculous. Anyway, it's not what I want to talk about.
I hate all of those people that you just mentioned. All of them.
Pardon?
I hate all of the people that you just mentioned.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I am telling you about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank
you.
Can I just say it was lovely to hear Sophie again? I haven't heard her for ages.
Yeah, not for like
Anyway.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I just like to say to you that last night I watched a bit of the Sky News debate with Richie Dishy and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And afterwards, they had Dominic Raab and Crazy Croissant.
Crazy croissant.
Anyway, Dominic Raab, honestly...
Like a mad
looked like-
French breakfast. Crazy
Yeah.
croissant, yeah.
Yeah, but Dominic Raab looked just like a bedraggled Afghan hound. His face was just, honestly, I looked at it, I thought, oh my gosh.
He does look on the verge of having
breakdown.
a violent, like having a violent outburst. He does
Yeah.
look like he should be on a leash.
Yeah, but then the laugh was, Kate Burley asked Dominic Raab the first question, then she asked Kwasi Kwarteng the second question. And of course, she went back to Dominic, and then Kwasi Kwarteng said, oh, he was the first to be asked the question, and the last. Why aren't you asking me the question?
Do you mean Rishi Sunak? Do you mean? Hang on a minute. Whoa, Nelly. Do you mean Rishi Sunak, not Crazy Croissant?
No, it's Kwasi Kwarteng and Dominic Raab. She talked to them after what they thought of the debate.
Oh, right.
Is that, you've asked him the first, why aren't you asking me now? It was so pathetic.
And which one of them said that?
Pardon?
Which one of them said that?
Crazy Croissant.
Crazy Croissant. Hey,
Yeah.
oi.
Stop whining.
Crazy.
Anyway, can I just say, I've just heard some more doom and gloom. There's been a cyber attack on the 111 service.
Right.
So it's not going to be up and running until the middle of next week.
Yes.
And there's massive disruption with the supply chain. I've just heard that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, tonight we had, after Dean, before that, we had, guess who we had doing the journalist on? It was Emily Sheffield. It's Samantha Cameron's sister.
Oh, yes.
And she's the stepdaughter of Lord Astor, connected with the Lord Astor. Well, I'd got on, and I was all up for this don't pay protest, that people are now, I think there's 700,000 people enrolled. Oh, my goodness, she shot me down in flames. I thought, well, I know your background. I know we all come from the elite and the upper class.
Oh, me?
No, her.
Oh, her, right.
Do you know her, Emily Sheffield?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't want to know her. She's a pain in the backside. Anyway, she shut me down.
Brenda,
Absolutely.
you may think that. I couldn't possibly comment.
I know you couldn't. But I just reminded her that 17 million people protested about the poll tax, and we won. So put that up your nose
and snort it, yeah.
Snort it, yeah.
All right, okay. Thanks a lot, Brenda. Cheers, my dear. Oh, don't get on the wrong side of Brenda. 0345 6060 973. Phil emails, I'm trying to understand why anyone would water the grass and then cut it and bin it. Well, that's a good point. Yeah, what's that about? Lizzie texts, this morning, Nicosaurus had a slip of the tongue and referred to our potential Prime Minister as Liz Trump. Liz Trump. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, we've had baby Trump for the last, God, seems like absolutely forever, don't it?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
And now Liz Trump. Yeah. Of course, you can't call her Liz Trump because that would upset Melania, because it sounds like Liz would be married to Donald Trump. It sounds like somebody else is married to your husband, Melania.
I don't care.
She's actually not that bothered. 0345 6060 973.
Touch, feel, that's what I do.
Touching and feeling is what he does. He's a very nice person.
Donald Trump is not a nice person.
But he does cherish women.
I cherish women.
With both hands. I could sit here all night long. Hey, Kanye.
Whoop-dee-dee scoop poop.
That's what I'm saying. And you know that if you get it in the right order, you get extra points.
If you get it in order, you get extra points.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Come on, we're running
Yeah, I was a little bit late coming out of the break. Never mind. If I don't say anything, people won't notice. Simon texts, could you please explain why the price cap is always based on the spot market over the last few months, but not on the actual hedge price the Big Five would have actually bought for maybe 1, 2, 3, or even 4 years ago when it was so much cheaper? No. But thanks for asking. Marceline in Ilford. Marceline in Ilford.
What? I'm very happy. I always
you sound like you're dying.
I love your program.
Right.
I never ever miss Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Glad to hear it. Have you got a radar book?
I always tell you, believe me, sir, you're a man.
I am a man.
With a political honesty.
Well, I say what I think and I think what I say.
First of all, I tell you, I'm not a young man. I'm 71 years old.
71 years old?
I'm a retired accountant.
Oh. What's more boring than accountant? A retired accountant.
Boring.
Go ahead.
I'm a retired accountant. I don't know if you heard it. CIMA, Chartered Institution Management Accountant.
Yeah.
So
you add up add up numbers for a living. Add this up.
And 1, 2, 11.
Which makes?
I want to tell you one thing. The important question is about this Conservative Party.
Yes.
Within themselves, they are fighting like cats and mouse.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I believe. Don't think I'm a Labour Party member. They are destroying. This Conservatives are destroying themselves. They are shooting their own foot.
Shooting their own foot, which is Labour's speciality. Yeah. But Labour will continue to shoot itself in the foot long after the Tories have all formed their ducks in a row and managed to present a united face, even though they hate each other like poison.
The one thing I tell you...
Yeah, tell me one thing. Go on.
Rather than shooting themselves, why can't they call for a general election?
Because they'd lose.
Then no. I don't know whether you can say if they have the guts to say.
If the Tories called a general
election,
if the Tories called a general election now, they'd lose. But they will call it when they have managed to put away all of their differences, stick them in a cupboard. They'll still hate each other, but they will present a united face to us lot and kid on that they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. Just doing Jesus work. Acting on their faith. That's what they'll kid on. And, they have our best interests at heart. Believe them. They've been very clear about that. Ain't that right, Marceline?
They have to call for the general election.
Yeah. A what now?
Rather than fighting with each other with cat and mouse.
Right. A general what now?
In my view, they have to go for the general election.
A general election?
Yes. Right. Otherwise, whether these two idiots, if they come British Prime Minister, the British public is not accepting them as a Prime Minister.
Right. The British public will be revolting. That much is true. Okay, thanks a lot, Marceline. Marceline has been refreshing himself all evening long, I bet.
Booze.
0345 6060 973. They ain't going to call no general election now because it's not in their interests. They're not interested in what's good for the country. They're interested in what's good for them personally first, then what's good for the party second, and what's good for the country doesn't even make their list. And in that regard, they're just like everybody else. Human beings.
Correct.
I've met them and not that keen. Mike texts, if I understand the polls right, a majority of Tory party members want Boris back, but overwhelmingly support the candidate who could stand in his way. Not the brightest lot, are they? Says Mike. Well, either candidate would stand in his way, being as how either candidate would be the next leader of the country. Mike. So I'm not quite sure what point you're making there. Never mind. Annie texts, I have a rotten cold. Oh, really? Tell us more.
Stop whining.
I have a rotten cold, says Annie, and have used a box of tissues today. If I still have it tomorrow, I'm going to stop using my tissues and just drip all over the grass. Oh. It could be nice and green instead of brown. Will I get done for this? Well, if not that, then something, Anne. You should definitely get done for something. Leave it with me, and I'll come up with an idea. You should be arrested by the law. We'll think up the charge later. Punishment first, charge later. Carl tweets, similar to your misinformation about the rave clip, you're doing it with Bodge. Does he know? He does know about buses. He makes models from wine crates. No, he doesn't. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Boris Johnson does not make buses from wine crates. I mean, what kind of an adult would do that, for a start? And what kind of an adult would come up with that on the spur of the moment to kid on that he's got a hobby? Other than the ladies. Apart from that hobby. And this one. Booze. Apart from those two hobbies, he ain't got no hobbies. So on the spur of the moment, he came up with that. What do you do in your spare time? I make buses out of wine crates. What kind of a mind would come up with that? Where did that come from? Buses from wine crates, Bodge?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Phil says, it just so happens that I've got access to an unlimited amount of water on the Isle of Wight. Fresh water, mind, not that nasty salty stuff on the beaches, so for a suitable backhander, I can get you sorted for all the water you want. By the way, there's going to be a lot of empty swimming pools and big houses on the island. Yeah, that's not drinking water. People have been in that water.
Disgusting.
And I do mean been. Fife, Andy.
Hello there, Nick. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good stuff. It was just obviously it's been all over the news about Liz Truss and her comments about Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister of Scotland, and how she said she should be ignored.
Right.
Do you not think that that's going to further the cause of independence in Scotland? How do you think people in Scotland are going to react to that, Nick?
Poorly, I would imagine.
Exactly. Correcto mundo. Absolutely they are.
I got that one right.
You absolutely did, yeah. I mean, I think it's... I mean, I've just heard on the news earlier on there that Rishi Sunak is saying quite the opposite, that the SNP shouldn't be ignored. So I think he's maybe he's trying to, say the opposite thing to try and get a bit more...
Whatever the Liz bot just said, I think the opposite, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really what it is. And I just wondered what maybe something. I mean, I know a lot of people from other nations like England and Wales call in. I've just been wondering what people would be thinking about that night. That was really
I think their opinions of Liz Truss remain unchanged. Let's put it like that. All right, thanks a lot, Andy. 0345 6060 973. Yes, opinions have not been changed in that regard. Here, there, or anywhere. As a matter of fact. Greg says, you really need to stop with the Northern Ireland. And here's why. I'm a lorry driver and spend most of my breaks in motorway services near the Liverpool docks, where most Irish truckers arrive into this country. Here is the issue. Whilst walking around in the services, whenever I hear the Northern Irish accent, I find myself saying aloud, "Arr." This is my fault, he says. Oh, I see. It's my fault. He says, so when I get a kicking, I'll be shouting, Nick made me do it. I made him do it. I'm very sorry.
I am very sorry that I screwed up.
Totally screwed up.
I mean, I am so sorry. You just don't know
how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, very, very sorry. Newcastle. Hello, Michael.
Hello there, Nick.
Hello there, Michael.
All right. No, I was just thinking that everything's negative at the minute. Prices going up. There's just like Hosepipe banter. There's nothing positive coming of this year, is there?
Right. Everything is negative.
Negative.
Aye. There's no really happening there. Like Hosepipe bands. Oh, man, it's and blue badge holders. Why them? What about other garden?
I don't know. For a very good reason, Michael. No doubt about that. But I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. Are you driving at the moment?
No, I'm pulled. I'm on my hands free. I'm just pulling the lay-by.
Are you lying about that?
No, I'm in the lay-by. It's just busy on the M1.
It sounds like you're driving along to me.
No, I didn't worry about that.
Okay.
No, it's just like I don't know, just everything. I'm listening to this show, and just everything's just negative and negative.
Yeah. Negative.
Affirmative.
It's just no.
It's just
no good of it,
it's just awful. I know. Life is awful, and then you die. And on that happy note, that's it. If I didn't get around to your text and your email and so on, it's because you send too many of them. It's not my fault. I just can't get through them all. But I will try and finish them off this evening when I come back in at 10 o'clock. Like I said before, this show gets squirted up the internet as a podcast. We take the news and the ads out. Takes less time to listen to. You'll use less electricity. And by this time next year, you'll have saved up enough to buy a baked bean. Just think about that. It's called Nick Abbot, The Whole Show. Ask for it by name on an internet near you. So I'll be back at 10 o'clock tonight. Let's see, because the rest of my script here is like 15 pages of text and emails down right at the bottom, where it's most difficult to see. Ian Payne is here from 4 o'clock. Now it's becoming clear. But first, it's Clyde Bull.
Thanks very much, Nick. And coming up, well, yes, a recession is looming. The cost of living crisis worsens. Is this the time for the government to be on holiday and for the next Prime Minister to be promising tax cuts? We'll look at that. Also, growing tensions between the United States and China. No sign of a let-up in the war in Ukraine. How much more of a dangerous place has the world become? And what place does the UK have in all of this? And Grant Shapps is to launch a consultation looking at licence requirements for lorry drivers. Would it make sense to relax the rules and allow motorists to drive bigger vehicles? That, plus a look at the front pages and more after the news at 1 on LBC.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
Leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 1 o'clock, Conservative leadership candidate Liz Truss has set out her plan to level up the country by boosting economic growth if she becomes the next Prime Minister. The Foreign Secretary says she'll review Treasury investment rules to help improve regional infrastructure and ensure transport links are better integrated across buses, road and rail. She's also promising to scrap EU regulation that holds back businesses. A new poll has found that 63% of Britons feel they're on an unavoidable collision course towards a recession. YouGov figures suggest we're increasingly concerned about an economic downturn after the Bank of England implemented the biggest interest rate rise in 27 years to tackle inflation. Jonathan Ports, a professor of economics at King's College in London, says families tightening their budgets will have consequences.
That's going to reduce demand elsewhere in the economy. And the Bank of England, at least, thinks that that's going to mean, over time, rising unemployment and lower output, so a recession for the whole UK economy.
There's a warning of delays to the NHS 111 service because of a computer system outage caused by a cyber attack. Patient referrals are being impacted, including ambulances being dispatched, out-of-hours appointment bookings and emergency prescriptions. The security issue was identified yesterday morning, and services provider Advanced says it might not be fully resolved until next week. There are concerns more than 4,500 primary school classes worth of children in England are spending their summer holidays in temporary accommodation. Figures from the local government association show that almost 120,000 youngsters don't have a home. That includes 1,700 households with children in bed and breakfasts. Councillor David Renard is calling on the government to help build more affordable homes or risk disrupting the learning and development of youngsters.
That's really not good for them or their families because they don't get to put down roots, and quite often they
may have to move schools, or it's difficult for them to get to their schools.
Finally, Arsenal was too strong for Crystal Palace with a 2-0 victory in the opening game of the Premier League season. LBC weather, that rain at times across Scotland this morning. Few showers in northern England, elsewhere fine and dry with a high of 23. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Serena Farrow. 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 I'm